Battlefield 5 did away with the Premium Pass in favor of the Tides of War live service, and many have been displeased with the content drip feeding that has been going on as opposed to the premium setup we had in previous titles. Today I want to talk about Battlefield 6 and what I think we could see as far as post-launch support. But before we start, remember that if you enjoy the video, then be sure to leave a juicy like, as this will help the video rank in the algorithm, and if you really enjoy it, then be sure to subscribe for more content like this. So to tackle this subject, we need to understand the differences between these two options. For example, live service is a post-launch model that offers free content drops such as maps and weapons, and makes its money off of selling soldier and weapon skins, or sometimes by also presenting the battle pass as an option. Sometimes it is done in seasons. Games like Apex Legends and Call of Duty present it this way, where for a couple of months you progress through a tiered system unlocking new weapons and lower tiered skins. This is where a battle pass comes in. A battle pass grants you access to the higher tier customization items, which are often more popular just due to looking cooler. Battlefield 5 does have something similar with the Tides of War ranks, and each week during the Tides of War chapter you have assignments you can complete to unlock a new weapon or skin, as well as progress through the ranks faster. BF5 relies solely on cosmetics bought with points to fund new content though. The big criticism of live services, as I said earlier, the drip feeding of new content. This doesn't apply to every live service, and I will present my opinion a little later on in the video. The big benefit of a live service model though is that a player base is able to stay together longer and increase the longevity of a game's life. But let me know what you think of Battlefield's live service down below. Would you have rather seen a battle pass system, or do you like the Tides of War system? Now on to premium. Battlefield's premium pass used to be the way to access post-launch content up until BF5. Typically, several DLC packs with new maps, weapons, and factions would be included for around a $40 to $50 price tag and scheduled out over the life cycle of the game. This was somewhat controversial from its introduction, but it was consistent with the content drops, and they were usually good additions to their respective games. The big con of premium was the division of the player base. Some players only bought 1 or 2 DLC packs instead of the whole season pass, or bought none at all, and that meant that as the game ages, the shrinking player base gets divided into even smaller groups, and thus the game dies faster. For example, if a friend doesn't have the They Shall Not Pass DLC pack, you won't be able to play several of the maps in Battlefield 1. So if the servers are not full elsewhere in that game, you'll have to find a different game with full servers. This is what eventually led to the live service model that we have now. Now, on to my opinion. Emphasis on opinion, now that we have covered the facts. I think that Battlefield 6 needs to have a live service, but a better one than what BF5 has. I do think the Battle Pass setup is far better than the Tides of War setup, as having assignments to do alters the style of gameplay in-game for up to a whole week, and as a whole, I'm just not a fan of the weekly assignments. I do not think a return to Premium will happen, nor would it be good to do so. Yes, Premium was more consistent, and I understand that, but I believe that BF5's drip feed mostly comes down to the instability of the game, its development, and the never-ending issues it has delaying any new content they do have planned. For example, let's look at Al Sandan. It was delayed several months due to a bug on the larger scale version of the map. So, I mean, we've seen it throughout the life cycle of this game. Also, the player base will be able to stick together better. That's obviously going to be a perk, especially with a game like BF5 where the player base isn't exactly always there, just because of the controversies surrounding the game seemingly since launch, and again, the instability of the game. I do think live service is the way going forward, and if done better can see more consistent content than what we have now. Now some will say that they liked having something to look forward to, and I think better communication from DICE on plans would be key to giving us that, but there could also be a shorter foresight and a lot more changing of plans in a live service. I don't really know though, because I don't work there, I'm not a part of a dev team, so I don't know how often those plans change like that. I'm sure it does happen a bit more, but it depends on the game as well. I'm sure the chaos around BF5 has something to do with this. Again, I think Battlefield 5's instability is the biggest part of the issue, not the whole of them, and with a much more stable game as far as the actual literal game stability and the direction/identity of the game being clear, the live service wouldn't seem so chaotic and all over the place. Modern Warfare seems to be doing pretty well with post-launch content, and that game went with a simple battle pass system, and right now Season 2 is teasing a free-to-play BR mode, Firestorm, and that has people really hyped for it. That game has its issues, but post-launch seems to be doing very well, and I think is a good example for a live service. Every time I log on to Modern Warfare, there seems to be a new map or interesting playlist to check out, which always gives me a reason to come back again. But let me know down below what you think, live service or premium. What are your thoughts and opinions? Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next video.